all right, guys. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Uh, y'all have to excuse my voice this morning. I'm a little hoarse. I think I've been having man, my allergies have been bad today. So I think I'm gonna turn this thing off before. That can't be good for my allergies. So I'm gonna turn that off. All right. Anyway. So good morning, guys. Welcome to the stream. How are you today, Ganish? Is that your did I pronounce that correctly? All right. So we're going to get into it. Just let me make a quick little adjustment here. Let me see if you guys will give me a minute. I'll get this up and we can get started. Let's see. All right, and here, and we will put this. We'll go to live chat, and then we're gonna put this right here and paste it, and go, and then we will do this here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, guys. Welcome to my live art stream. Today we're going to just be kind of working on the Earth world. I'm gonna kind of take a chill day today. I'm still debating whether I'm going to go out and work today because to be honest with you, I feel like crap today. But I decided to go ahead and do a stream anyway. I guess the doctor's better advice. My wife, right? All right. So hold on a second. All right, hold on. I think that's off right there. I gotta turn the ceiling fan off. All right, there we go. Because that's really aggravating me right now. All right. So we're gonna pick some faces here from Earth's world. We're gonna work on those. I'm gonna kind of talk my way through the process with you. If you're benefiting from the stream, hey, tips are awesome. That's pretty much what I put up there. You guys know how to tip there. You can do Super Chat, Cash App, all that good stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, right? Let's just pick a face that I think looks interesting. I guess we did that face last week. Let's see. I'm going to try to do somebody different here. Let me see. What about, I don't know. What about this face right here? I don't know. I don't like that face. I mean, not that I don't like him. I just don't like that face. That's a pretty strong face right there. He looks like Jerry Springer almost. All right, so anyway, let me go ahead and get my marker out here. And then we're going to look at what head shape that is. I'm thinking it's going to be probably something kind of, let me see here. I think kind of bullety. You know, yesterday I was at work and I was drawing a caricature, and so one of the couples that what I was drawing, I have been watching this other caricaturist a lot, just looking at how he does stuff and all that, right? And I started trying to incorporate stuff from his caricature into mine, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? I was breaking my own advice, right? Trying to, I don't know. I guess the way I draw a caricature is the way I draw it, right? Excuse me. All right, so let's go ahead and do this other little curl here. Try to get all of our head shape in there. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to do things kind of simple for you guys today, okay? All right, now, from here, let me see. What I would do in this picture, I would go to the, I don't know, I think I might go to the nose shape, maybe. Let me see. Maybe if I do something like this here, let me see. I don't know. Should I do the mouth first and then the nose? Let me see if that'll work. Because sometimes you don't leave enough space for that chin, you know what I mean? So I think that looks kind of like what's going on there, right? Something like that, right? And then you have a little space here, and then you can have this little space here. And if we mess up, so what, right? All right, just go with it. All right, and then let me see here. This is a really crazy angle. It looks like his eye is like right here somewhere, like and then it's like kind of like just the bottom of it, like this. I probably won't do a lot of commentary today, too, guys. I'm just going to let you know now. So I'm going to save all my talking for the. Hey, how you doing this morning, Cherish? Welcome to the stream. Shout out to you, special. Shout out to you. My top tier Patreon is here, and thank you so much for showing up today. We had a great class this week. I really some of the things, and I appreciate you sharing those that scriptures with me. I thought they were very insightful. So just want to let you know I appreciated it. All right, let me see here. All right, so that would be my little cartoon of him, right? So they have this guy, this caricature artist. His name is his name is Dunn Drawing, or Dunn Drawing, something like that, right? And he's a really fantastic artist. He has a very different style, and I was like, that was the artist I was actually referring to when I was saying I was trying to incorporate some of the things he does, but then I realized that he likes to draw his picture first before he starts it, and I don't do that ever. I don't ever make a plan for the picture before I start it. I just go. And so anyway, when I tried to go back and make this plan, this idea, and then come back and trace my lines, that didn't work out very well for me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I ain't gonna try that no more. All right. So many different ways we could have did this face right here, and I don't know. I may explore another way. I like the way I did those eyes, though. I really like those because how they really don't draw. I didn't draw all of the eye in there. You know what I mean? I just kind of went with it, right? So here we go. We got this, and then we got a little thing like that. All right. And I think that's it right there for that drawing. Let me see. Just draw some shoulders here. All right. Which reminds me, I need to send some homework to one of my students from yesterday. I forgot to send it. Hope she's not mad at me. Okay. All right. So that is drawing number 1 of the day. Good morning, Jermaine. How are you today? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Again, guys, forgive me if I'm not as commenty today as normal. I kind of feel like crap today, but I did a stream anyway because I just had to hang out with you guys, right? So anyway, thank you for showing up. Hey, this might turn out to be a really good stream. Looks like we have 12 people here already, so that's cool. Digital homework assignment. Yeah, I have to make a side note of that. Yeah, I'll do that for you, Cherish, for sure, for doing things digitally. Okay. So this is my first picture of the day, and again, how I approached that. You saw I went with the jawline first. I tend to go with the jawline first. That's just my particular way of doing it. But when you draw your picture, you know, it's up to you how you approach your drawing. So, you know what I mean? You don't have to do it exactly like me. Let's see here. So I like to draw from here because it has such realism in the faces, you know, versus a lot of the times when you draw from the models and stuff like that, a lot of times they're photoshopped, so they don't look like actual people. You know what I mean? Like say I don't know, that guy right there. Let's see if we can. I don't know, this guy right here. He looks like a cool guy to draw. Maybe we'll try it out. So different pictures, I'm just going to approach different ways. This one, I'm tempted to draw this one kind of in a I guess maybe with the same shape. Really, I'm gonna just do this here. Okay, wait. I'm gonna do this. Something like that. And I am using a Sharpie, the chisel tip today. I decided to use these a little bit more at work because they give me like a thicker line to draw from. So that's why I'm using this one today. Yeah. Okay. Now we just gotta look at this hair. And we want something that's kind of a light shape here. See if we can do this without putting a lot of lines. And then we'll come here with our next shape. Okay. All right, let's see here. Just a few little lines here. Sometimes I just want to do more, man, you know? But I know I'm not supposed to do that, but sometimes I just do. Let me see. Let's do this picture. Let's do this. Let's go with the nose shape here. Now, I'm going to tell you, I haven't tried this in a long time. And this is like a T-shaped kind of a method. I'm not going to draw the features on this one. I'm going to practice something real quick. So let me see how I can do this. Let me see. Uh-oh. Please say this isn't so. Okay, hold on, guys. All right. Hey, guys, give me just a moment. I need to go get my cord to charge my pad. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of that real quick. All right, so let me see here. Oh, thank you, Cherish. I appreciate it. I need some, definitely need some healing today. All right, so let's continue with the drawing here. Just again, kind of sharing my mental process about this picture. I see the furrowy eyebrows, and I was thinking about doing this T-shaped thing. So basically, what it is drawing the eyes like I want to, like kind of like in a T like this. So I'll do something like this, right? And then something like this. You get what I'm saying? So that when I'm drawing it, it doesn't really, I don't need to put the eyes in for this shape. So this is a good way to learn how to do caricature without actually drawing all of the features. Now this particular mouth, this one right here, it looks like his mouth is kind of like he's bubbling that top lip out. Which how would I get what? How would I draw my line to get that effect? Well, I guess let me see. This one looks like it's coming up like this, maybe. Should I do this top lip first? I mean, I'm trying to think about it logically. So what if I do this? Right? That's the top lip. And then what if I do something like this? But this would be like the mustache kind of thing. And then this would be like his mustache coming down here. Okay, so we're going to try this on a couple of different drawings. And this is going to help you by taking the pressure off of drawing everything exactly as it is in the picture. You see how we can just T-shape it and get our right exactly. Okay, so we're going to be practicing. That's what we're going to go with this today. We're going to practice some T-shapes, man. Now that's a technique that I actually learned from Tom Richmond. He is one of the guys that I did learn some things from. I always in my earlier caricature years, I would promote his book a lot. I don't use it as much anymore, but because I think, but every now and then I'll look over there and see it, and I'll just flip through it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So we're gonna try this concept just a few more times with different faces and see how well it actually works for you. Maybe it'll help you to see your caricatures better. All right, so let's go with I don't know. Let's just pick a face here. What about let me see. Oh man, another face. There's so many different faces here. All right, what about this face here? Let's see what would happen if we kind of T-shaped her face. How would that like kind of work out for us? All right. Hey, what's going on? Gaming with Corey and Jay. How are you today? I'm a little under the weather today, but I'll survive, right? Yeah, I'm a little under the weather today. But all right, let's see here. Let's start with the T shape first on this one. Maybe if I went with a maybe a shape like this. I'll do like a double line here, and then I'll do something like this. So that's my T shape, right? And then this will be, you can kind of go with the eyebrows here, right? And then you can see the underside of the eyes would be here somewhere, right? And then let me see. Something like that. I don't know if that's going to work out or not. I think it's going to work. Okay. She has kind of big ear shapes, right? And we'll do something like this. And we will bring our shape around. And then bring our neck shape down here. Wow. Only thing is, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I should have made it a wider shape, like kind of like this. Maybe if we draw it like this. Let me show you what I mean. Hold on. Let me go ahead and finish this one up. I think that I still think it's not too bad, right? All right, let's try it this way. Let me see. Kind of like this. What I mean, instead of drawing it like that, kind of do like this here, and then like that. Right, you know what I'm saying? I think that black line is a little bit intrusive, so let's try it different. Let's try it again that way. In fact, I think, let me see, let me see here. I might be able to get my book out here so I can show you kind of where I got this from. For you guys that have this book, hold on, give me just a second here. The Mad Art of Caricature. Mine's is kind of jacked up, okay? So don't laugh at my book, man. My book is toe up. I mean, I done had it for that many years, right? So let me see if I can find that. All right. No. Let me see here. Okay, this is the human skull. Keeping it simple. Here we go. So this is really what I'm talking about right here. This is the T shape, right? So you can see kind of how it works. It's cool because you can, like when you're doing somebody that has a really squinty eyes, you can use this. And I'm actually going to keep this one out so that I can look at this at the same time, right? So here you can see what I didn't do. Let me look at which one I would more than likely try to. I think that this shape, this shape needed to be bigger for her, even though she does kind of have a sizable nose shape, right? But we're gonna try to make it where the shape is a little bit thicker. You know what I mean? So let's see here, the T-shape theory. Let's see what he says here. I have talked a lot about simplifying the face by boiling it down to the 5 shapes. But it can be even simpler than that in terms of making both observations and playing with the relationships of features to make a caricature. In fact, I believe there are 2 absolutely crucial key components to any caricature: the head shape and the T shape. I look at these 2 elements first and try to make observations about them because they allow me to push, stretch, and exaggerate the face to great effect with relative ease. When I talk about the T shape, I'm speaking of the geometric shape created by the eyes and the nose, like this, right? Okay? Excuse me. As if drawn in contour around them. In simplest terms, they create the capital T. This shape describes the relationship between these important facial elements, making it a single unit. This makes exaggerating the eyes and nose relationship much easier because you can ignore all the details of the features themselves and concentrate on manipulating the T shape itself. Awesome. Which is everything that I just said, right? All right. So what I'm going to do is kind of put this all to the side, right? This is what we're going to be doing today. Okay. I'm going to make some room here. I can't put it there. I guess I'll put it here to the side. I was going to stream on Facebook too, but I don't know if I don't know. I might still do that. I don't know. All right. So what we want to do then is he's saying that if we look at her shape, we can say she has whatever kind of eyes she has, right? And then her nose shape would be round, so it would be something like this, right? So here we can see that we have this shape here, right? Going like this. So you can see her head shape forming like such. Okay. So let's just keep it easy. Let's just go ahead and see how many caricatures we can do. Now we know all the lines around the eyes and all that stuff. Just kind of go here. You get what I'm saying? So that's like a round nose, and then you can see the next shape there. Okay. All right. So that worked out. That worked out. I think that worked out rather well. So now we can push the envelope on that structure if we want to, right? Be more exaggerative, right? Meaning we could draw the shape like this, right? We can say something like this. And then because it's going to the side, we can do something like this, right? Okay. And then we still know that how we want to put our how we want to put our shape. You see? Or you can make it let me see here. This one, it looks a little bit this would be like the nostril, right? And then you can see this coming down here, and then this kind of going here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see that relationship right there, right? Okay, so that works. That works. All right. Okay. So we can do all kind of cool stuff with this this T shape here. Let me see here. Let's go to let's find another one here. Maybe we can look at this shape here. She looks kind of, you know, I like to get those angled looks, right? So we can see how her shape is, right? Her shape is really, I would push the eye shape kind of closer together for her, and then come down here, right? And maybe my T shape would look like this for her face, right? You get what I'm saying? So now it looks like kind of like this, you know? So I can concentrate on drawing these features versus trying to draw everything perfectly. Okay, so we're just loosely kind of interpreting, right? You see right there? Okay. And she has all her features, and this is, we already see that nose. And as long as you really pick shapes that go along with what's already been established by the T shape, I find that that works. So you don't have to be as exact with your shapes when you do it this way here. So that's hats off to Tom Richmond for sharing that expertise with us. All right, about how to how to do that, right? See? Mm-hmm. And we can see the this is the point of the nose here, so we don't really even need, we could just put a shape in it that looks kind of like it. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of a big nose, but today we're doing it so that we can get a little bit more exaggeration than normal. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So, how else could we push that relationship? Well, we can make the relationship not as, we could do whatever we want now. We can go even smaller with this relationship here. We can bend the front of the nose and then come here and then make the T shape like kind of like this, right? Okay, so that's like the nostril on the front of the nose, right? And then you can do something like this, right? So you can just get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Whatever you want to do, just have at it. Right? Every caricaturist is going to do it a little different. So, again, whatever floats your boat, man. Okay? I like that one. That's funny. Okay? All right. Yeah, I am. I'm actually at first, Cherish, with the airbrush. What my plan is to first start off doing it on YouTube. So I'm just going to start by doing caricatures or just different drawings with the airbrush, because I find that people like it for the entertainment value. I don't think I'm going to get into teaching it per se or anything like that, because I don't know. I just want to do it. I just want to do something in my channel too that I do just for enjoyment, not necessarily to instruct anybody on how to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, but I definitely am going to be incorporating it in, and you know, my prayer is that that I'll be able to do like customized like caricatures T-shirts or something like that. You know, where people can order a shirt, but it's got their name on or got their face on it or something, or somebody's face on it that they, you know what I'm saying? So that's really where I'm going with that. And so most of the videos you see are of me practicing like different techniques, practicing the eyes, practicing those. I actually got a really good deal. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I really got a really good deal on some brushes. I paid like $28, and I got like 3 really good brushes. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this brand here. I'm gonna go ahead and break it out, but this one is called Meeden. Meeden, right? And Meeden is they gave me 3 different brushes. I have a 0.25, 0.50, and then I got one that's like I think a 0.35, but that basically just means how thick the lines can go. But this one right here, what I like about it is that at the very end of it, it has, I mean, it's very well constructed to be such an inexpensive airbrush. So you can turn this so that when you press down and you pull back on your brush, it won't allow you to pull back but so far. So if you want to do really fine lines, I would, you know what I'm saying, I would turn this in to where I can't pull back. But the further you screw it in, the more you're going to have to reduce your paint down. But I'll, you know, maybe one day when we do a class or whatever, I can run you through and maybe show you what I've learned so far. And I'll be glad to share that with you. All right, anyway, let's get back to this T-shape thing, okay? So we already did this one. Let's go ahead and just keep rolling on with it. Again, guys, man, tips are awesome if you feel as if that you're benefiting from the information that's being shared with you today, and you'd like to be a blessing to me and my family. Hey, man, if the Lord's put that on your heart, you can do super stickers, super chat, all that kind of stuff. Or the information, I already placed it on your screen here. It's at the very top. But I'll go ahead and paste that. And I'll say that periodically just to remind you guys that tips are awesome if you feel like you're benefiting from the stream today. All right, let me see here. Okay. So let's go to our next face here. And we're going to pick some. Now, this one is cool, right? Because check it out. Now, when you draw, let's pretend, since we know we're drawing a T shape, right? If I want to make this T shape dimensional, well, I certainly can do that, right? Because it helps you to see like kind of how your lines are supposed to go. So if I do this, we can see that my eyes are going to go kind of back here. You get what I'm saying? So see how it looks like this brow line is, it tells me that the brow line is coming up. Does that make sense to you? So with this one, since he's kind of going to the side, well, we know our T shape is going like this. And then from the side from this, it's a shape hanging off like this, right? And then it's doing like this and coming up and coming down. So this would be kind of where this would be where that brow is. And then this would be where the forehead is. So when you're drawing this picture, you're thinking this line right here would be your, you get what I'm saying? What you would actually be drawing. Okay. Oh, really? I never knew that, Cherish. I didn't know that you interned with the airbrush art. That's really awesome. Well, maybe you could teach me a thing or two, right? Okay. And then everything from here is learning perception, how lines are supposed to go. Me and my wife were actually watching Disney the other day, and we were amazed at how, without using any shadows or anything, how realistic their drawings look, because they understood how to draw with the different lines, like putting the lines in the correct order. So that was pretty awesome. So anyway, that's just something for a sideways view. And then here we could see that we have a shape kind of like this here, and then this shape kind of comes up here. I've always kind of shied away from these shapes here, because to be honest with you, I don't practice. I don't necessarily do a lot of pictures that's going to go this way. You get what I mean? I usually don't draw pictures in this from the side. I mean, to me, it kind of defeats the purpose of a caricature, but I will draw like 3/4 angles and stuff like that. But maybe, I don't know, part of me just I want to work on that some more. Let's look at this guy here. What kind of T-shape can we use for him? Hold up, let me see here. All right, so with him, he has a big nose. So I would want to go with something that's going to accentuate that. So I will go with something that's going to kind of make the nose, I would make this shape very small, and then I make this shape round. Like I want my shape to be round like this. You know what I'm saying? So that when I put my glasses on that shape, right? You know what I'm saying? I can really get in there and do some things with it, right? You see? See how you don't have to be really precise when you use this T shape. You just think round, because you can see that big round nose he has there. You don't have to worry about all this stuff off in here. You know, you minimize that, and then you can see here how to put your lines in, right? And then you got your little mustache. Okay. All right, let me see here. And then obviously from there, we'll go ahead and put our head shape. So generally, I'm going to start from this point here. I'm going to come around to the eye, and then I'm going to come out and down, and then I'll go up for the hair here. See what I'm saying? And then we got this part right here for his hat. You see? All right. So that one was kind of fun, right? All right. Let me see here. Interesting. That when I got over here, if I want to make lines look like they overlap, see how I don't have to add any shadow to that to make it look 3D? In order to do that, I had to go this way and feed my line this way. It's kind of hard to do it if you think like this. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't look, it can, but I think that because you can see yourself doing what you want, you can kind of judge it a little bit better like that. Okay. All right, let me see here. All right, so we have our next guy here. All right, let's see here. See more faces here. What about that guy? Let's see what we could do with him. What would the T shape look like for this guy? Well, I would do a kind of like a down shape like this one. Let me show you. Kind of something like this almost, right? But to the side. You know what I mean? See how it looks like he has an arrow. So let's see how if that'll work. Let me see here. So I do something like this, arrow, and then I'll come down and around and back up. And then basically I'm just coming back up here and going down with my arrow so that my shape looks like this, right? And let me see. So now I'd have to do like this. And then you can see your glass is kind of coming across this bridge here. See if we can get that right. And then something like this here. Amazing how you can, again, with this T shape, how it kind of makes everything so much more simplified when it comes to your face shape. Oh, okay, so this will kind of go around here, and this will kind of sag down, not out, but kind of, it'll sag like this. And really, I should have just came here and went up with it. You see what I'm saying? Like that, so to give my lines more, you know what I mean? And in this way, I'll come down this way with my shape, right? And then come back over here like this. Something like that. Okay, and then from here we can see up and back. And then we have this hair shape here. Something like that. Yeah, something like this. That line might have should have been, maybe if I could do a small line right there. I don't know. Right? I think that looks cool, actually. So, yeah, I like that one. All right. So, again, we can see the power of that T shape, really simplifying those features in the middle of the face, so it can make me concentrate more on my head shape. So, like let's look at let's do another one. Let's look at this guy here. I don't know, something about his face. I want to draw it. So, excuse me. All right, let me see here. So now what I can do here, I can say this is gonna be my T shape. I'm gonna push my eyes in kind of close, and I'm gonna make a big round shape here, and then I'll do like this. So once I'm there, I already got everything that I need to know about the face. I don't really need any other information. Now I can concentrate on my shape. You know what I mean? I can. You know what I'm saying? I can concentrate on what I need to do. Here, I can go back here and go up into up here, here, and then up here and here. You see what I messed up at? I should have went with this line like that first, so it would have been on the outside. This line shouldn't have came in like that, but I messed up, so it's okay. All right, and then this one, again, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm going to come from the top of my shape here, right? And then I'm going to go down with a light line, okay? And then come over here. And then we'll just do like this into the neck, right? You see how it makes it look? I can see where I'm going. Right, there's his little hairs on his chest. One thing that's always perplexed me, I guess I don't know, I'll have to learn that one day, is drawing the wrinkles of the neck. I've always had a bit of a problem with those. I don't know. I think those are fairly decent, but All right, let's go with a square here. All right. Okay. And then let me see here. And we have a shape that just kind of does like that. All right. And then I don't know, maybe something that does kind of like this here. So everything with this one, very simple shapes. See how it already looks like him, right? I didn't really have to do much to get my picture to look like this guy. Okay, so I like that one. So that might be a way that you can start off your drawing. If you're drawing live or whatever, you want to do a face or whatever, you can come back and try that one. Let's look at her face. I know we did this face the other day, but let's see here. Now, with this one, what I would do, I could literally get away with, I would make the eyes somewhat bigger, but I would make a short T shape here. So what I would want to do with this one is let me see if I could describe it. I would do like this, right? And then I would do something like this. Okay. So that now her shape is already compacted like this. You get what I mean? So it's like kind of round, and then you can see her shapes like this. Okay. Now we come over here, right? Boom. And then remember what we're doing here. Now, usually I'll make all of this go away, but we're just going to, for the sake of the picture, I'm going to do like this. And then I'll just come back around and come like that, right? And then over here, I'll just make enough space to come out here, right? And then we'll just do something like that. Okay. If we wanted to keep that in there, we could, you know. Again, I usually make double chins go away when I draw, but that's just my technique. So here you can see how I got the nose turned upside down, right? And then you can see here about her eyes, right? You see? And then the eyebrows, lashes, right? All of that goes. Because these are, again, the relationships of those features. Now we're just looking at basically we're looking at the top of a hexagon here. So this is the bottom, this is the side of it. And I'll come down like this, and then out, and then back into my head shape. And of course, then we'll come across the top, right? Come down. Okay, and then look, we can do this up, and then here. That makes more sense. We can go here and then go up, and then we can just kind of come over and make our shapes like this. So it works a lot better for me to flow my hair against the grain. That's actually pretty cool, right? All right. And then we'll come over here and we'll do the same thing. Boom, boom. And then we go just like that. And then we come up here. Let me come back in. Okay. Right. If you want to add some more to the eyes, then you could just do all this mess here, right? See? Okay. So I went with my interpretation of this one was for my T shape to go. I wanted to make her eyes stand out. So really just want to ask yourself what is it that you're trying to accomplish when you draw the picture. So if I wanted whatever I want to be the focal point of the picture, then I will express that in a T shape. So if this again were a situation where I wanted to go extremely big on the nose, or maybe I could bring the eyes down some, and then maybe I don't think it would just look good. It would have to be extremely short. So maybe I did something like this. So this would be her T shape now. So you can see here that I've exaggerated this relationship. I made a mistake there, but okay. Get what I'm saying? So now you can see that I've smushed everything in together, right? And I can even make it where everything is smushed into the middle of her face if I want to. Get what I'm saying? And now I'll do the same concept, but smaller. So this was where I went with a bigger concept, saying I want this to be the focal point more than the nose, or I want the shortness of her shape to be the focal point. I didn't go neither big or small. I just made the relationship smaller, and then I made that relationship here small in relation to my whole face. You get what I'm saying? So now you can see how that relationship is going to play out in a caricature. Okay? All right. So, anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. All right. So, let's continue on. I have to keep track of that time. I started at 9:30, 10:30. Oh, well, we haven't really been streaming that long, actually. Seemed like I have, though. All right. Ooh, man. Got a good headache today. I might need to take me some headache medicine. All right. Let's see here. Oh, man. That's funny. All right. Again, what is our T shape going to look like for this guy? Well, really, it's a half of a T. So you got, I would even think of this more like so this would be the top of the T, right? Okay. Or whatever. Or this could be the top of the T here. Right? And then from the T, right, we're making it a three-dimensional shape. So we're coming from the eye shape, right? All right. And then I don't know, that's not the way I'm seeing that though. I would do this way right here. It just seems more comfortable to me to make this the brow shape, and then use the brow as where I want to start from, and then back the eye up. You get what I'm saying? So it looks kind of like this. You know what I'm saying? That way it looks a little bit easier to me to think of this as a brow shape. So, yeah, that's the way I would do that one. Yeah. And then you have an easy, like, you got an easy cartoon to shoot at from that point. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So again, nice simple little cartoon. So this one, the side view, you can. That's the way I would do it. I mean, he didn't necessarily say that in the book, but it's all about how I can see it. Oh, look at this guy. Let's see what we would do with him. Well, I would definitely want his jawline and the menaceness of his eyes to be the focal point, but I wouldn't make the eyes and stuff big. I might make the nose a little bigger than the eye shape, So I will go, generally my rule of thumb is when I'm going to go for the nose shape, I'm going to kind of minimize the eyes a little bit. And then if you see how his nose kind of sticks up, I want to make that relationship known in my caricature. So I want the peak of my nose to kind of go up like this. So therefore, he has this very nonchalant kind of a look, right? And then you can see his eyes are just kind of doing like this. So he has like this, you know what I mean? So here you can see his nose shape right there. You see what I'm saying? No, that's not the line that I meant to draw. Okay, I meant to do something like this. Something like that. So he looks too happy here. So I think what I should have did was went even smaller on these, went even smaller here. So let me see here. Maybe I could. Maybe I could do something like this. Is what would happen if I went shorter with this and then brought that nose relationship up like this. Now, how would that look like? Yeah. No, it would be like this. I would have to go for the bottom lip first on that. That's where I was messing up. So I want to go for the bottom lip. And do like this. You know what I'm saying? And then come here and do this. Yeah, like that. So he looks a little bit less he looks a little bit more less serious. I mean more serious than what I had him drawn the first time. I might go ahead and exaggerate this a bit. Drop down here. And then that would be where his head drops back. And then from here, obviously, I'll just come around and I'll connect to my shape here, like that. All right, then I'll come over here. And we just make our line here, 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 and here, here, and then come over here like that. And let me see, what about this hat here? Sometimes hats give me the blues. Let me see here. So, you know what part should I do for? I think maybe I gotta be thinking about where the head would naturally. So I think maybe drawing this little piece right here first, like the front brim of it, might be cool. Let me see. What if I do it this way? Right? And then just kind of come around with it. And then come from here. And come up and around to the shape here. Then come over the top of it like this. And then come down to the shape like that. That's funny. Okay. All right. So that's how I would approach this drawing. So with this one, okay, you see how when you turn something into a cartoon, a lot of times we forget we're looking for something that feels like the person and not necessarily these exact features. So you can see my exaggeration here expressed very simply. When I know I want to make my nose the focal point of the picture, then I'm going to squeeze my eyes together a little bit more. That's just a rule of thumb, okay? So if you want to use this exaggeration, and there's a lot of rules to this. I mean, that not like overbearing amounts, but some common sense things. You know what I mean? If you look at this relationship in relation to the whole head, you can see that this now makes his head look bigger. But had I drawn this relationship a lot bigger, then it would take away from the fact that he has such a big, head right there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be thinking about all those things when you do your picture, right? All right, so that one was this guy here, my little quick cartoon of him, right? All right. Let me see here. All right. Let's try her real quick. Now, what will my exaggeration be here? Generally, I'm not going to go with a bigger nose on a female. I'm going to keep those relationships either relatively the same, or I'm going to go bigger on the eye shape and smaller on the nose shape. Generally, that's how I'm going to approach this. So I'll kind of keep everything really kind of equilateral for this one. Meaning that the same distance is between the eyes and the nose. So how does that translate into the picture? So what am I thinking? I'm thinking, all right, this is one shape here, okay, and then this, right, is going to be my other shape. Okay, so everything is kind of equilateral here. Okay, so now once I do that, we can see how her glasses are going to fit right over this shape. You see? And just keep it simple. Right? I'm not doing all the details around the eyes. I guess I could do a few of them anyway, but that's kind of what I would do there. And then here we can see that I can do everything that I need to do as far as that nose shape inside of that. You know what I mean? And then here, I actually messed up right there, but that's okay. All right. Right? And you just practice and keep everything real simple. And then obviously her big afro, right? Okay. So again, just keep it simple. I would do something like this, just to give this a little bit dimension, so that when I bring this around, it's like the hair is kind of being overlapped by the size of her afro, so it doesn't look like a flat, like I just drew a line there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's how you give your afro a little bit more depth right there. Okay. Do I have a preference of Sharpie markers? Yeah, I pretty much use these most of the time when I'm drawing my drawings. because they're really easily accessible. I don't have to order anything. Just if I'm running out of markers, I can just go to the local store or whatever, and I can go ahead and just pick up what I need, versus trying to have to, order online and wait for Amazon to get here and all that stuff. So, that's one of the reasons. And then you get a lot of them for a little bit of money, and they cost about. I'll buy me some of these chisel tips. I usually don't draw with the chisel tip, though. I'll usually draw with the with the regular tip ones. But if I want some more definition or more boldness of lines, then I'll use something that's more of a chisel tip, because these can do some pretty calligraphic lines. Yeah. All right. So let me see here. What are we gonna do next? All right. So what time we got here? It's 10:33. 10:30. Okay. So is it 10:53? 10:33. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, look at her face. That's interesting. Okay. Again, when you're drawing now, we can take just to show you. We can do this shape here. Now she has like a little old lady face, so I would want to go with. And again, every artist is going to make that call differently. For me, I think that the spacing between her nose and her mouth are really something to look at, right? So, with that being said, I'd want a shape here. I would just do something like this, and then I would do an upturned shape. So I would do something where the shape of the nose is upturned, and it's kind of skinny and long, right? You know what I mean? But kind of roundish. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if I can even get away with like a J kind of a shape, like a J, and just do like this, right? So that's my T shape right there. You can see that, right? And so now when I draw her eyebrows, right? Excuse me, guys. Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna drop this shape down here. You see? Yeah, so that's how I would do that right there. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get some after I'm finished here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I'm gonna do just a few more drawings, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I really feel terrible today. I'm like, man. So I'm gonna do my word of the day here, just a sec. And then again, guys, if you feel like you benefited from the information today, tips are awesome. Thank you so much, man. You can do so through Super Chat, Cash App. All the information is at the top of your screen. Okay, so we can see what decisions I made. That T shape, you can, again, this one right here was really like a J. Right, so you can make your T go anywhere you want to. You can do it this way, right? You can do it this way here, and you can, right? And it's all about using that shape to make ideas, right? If we got somebody where the shape is really skinny, like this, generally, and you're going like this, generally you're looking at somebody where their eyes are going to be very incognito. They look very, very pissed off, kind of. You get what I'm saying? You see, incognito. He's a super spy with a thing that comes around here, and he looks like this is team leader 173416 coming in to infiltrate Rouser World. If you are caught in this mission, the secretary will disavow all actions. This message will self-destruct. Right? That's that face. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta I recommend you practice with this a lot so you can get those expressions down, man. Because once you learn those expressions, right, here we go again. We got T. I'm gonna do a shape like this and then do like that, right? See? So watch now. When I put my glasses, it's easy for me to get to her head once I'm here. You see? You see? With little to no little ease. That's funny. Okay. All right. So, right. Got the nose shape right there. Let's go ahead and do this little shape here. Yeah. Let's put a little bit more roundness there, right? So see there, we got a little bit, her little cartoon right there. That's funny. All right, and last one. Let me see. What about this guy? What kind of expression is that? Yeah, he looks like he's pretty pissed off. I don't know. I don't want to draw him. He's too pissed. Now her, again, if you look at the intensity of her eyes, right? This is telling me I want a T-shape like this. I want something like this. And then I want something that kind of does like this. So now watch. 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 Yeah. All right. Right? See? And then watch. Mm-hmm. Okay. see how that expression just kind of means everything in these types of drawings. Gotta get the expression in there. If not, spinning your wheels. You ain't got nothing coming. It's funny. Right. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead, guys. I think that's I think that I've done quite a bit of drawing for you guys today. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start to wrap up this thing with the T shapes. Again, I want to thank y'all for coming out today. If you did tip, man, thank you so much. Appreciate you. It was much needed, right? Things have been kind of slow in the caricature realm in my city right now, so it's all good. We're still doing the roofing fun thing, so if you guys decide you want to give to that, I already put the information. If you're not following me on Facebook, all that information is on Facebook, but you can give through again, the Cash App for that as well. So let me see here. Let's go ahead and give me a second. I'm going to take a brief time out, and then we're going to come back, do our word of the day, which is going to be kind of a continuation of what we were talking about last week. So I'll do a little recap of that, and then we'll go into part 2 of our word of the day. So guys, give me a moment, and I will be right back. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and do our word of the day. If you are new to the stream, the word of the day is where I share word of encouragement with you before we leave. You know, this is usually the part where I lose a lot of people looking at the stream, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's just, you know, the nature of the beast, you know. So when I started this channel, me and my wife started it, and we decided to go in a direction of ministry with this. There was a lot of questions in my mind about, like, well, God, how am I going to make money? People are not, you know, and the way now that the world is going, and with more and more people not liking structure of any kind or discipline of any kind, it kind of this I can do anything I want mentality is going in the world. Certainly something that says for people to come together, love one another, all that kind of stuff. Maybe, you know, it might not be accepted, and so therefore my views would suffer. But God's been taking care of me some kind of way. I don't know how this is working. I got to be honest with you. I just don't know. I just know that it is like some kind of way I draw for a living, and I'm able to support me and I have 3 kids that I'm raising, and then my wife. So little kids. I didn't have I had my sons really late in life. My sons are my daughter is 13, and then my son's going to be 4, my oldest son, and then my younger son is he's 8 months now. So we just had a newborn, and so that's exciting at 51 years old to be doing this all over again. But I had one daughter prior to another relationship, when I was younger, and so me and her have a great relationship as well. And all glory to God, that we're able to some kind of way maintain this, taking the angle of ministry, and it just makes me feel good when someone is, I get a message or something, and someone has said how the word has helped them to deal with something that's going on in their life. You know what I mean? So last week we were in the book of Colossians, and we were talking about experiencing life together. By the way, this book is called The Purpose Driven Life. It is by Rick Warren. If you've never read this book before, I definitely think it's a must read. Has a lot of good information in it. If you're looking at, well, where do I start with this spirituality thing? How do I become spiritual? Well, the first thing I can tell you is that I think that the idea of religion is preposterous. I don't look at this as religion. I look at it like a diet, kind of like, let me show you something. If you're going to have a diet, if you look at it like a diet, you'll never stick to it. But if you look at it as a way of life, then it becomes your mentality about it is different, and then it's easier for you to walk it because it's just how you roll. It's not necessarily something that's being forced upon you. So last week we were talking about experiencing life together. So you and me, we're experiencing life together. At this very moment, we're doing life together. You have decided to take out some part of your day to come here. If you're staying for this word of the day, guess what? You don't have to do that. So you're choosing to spend part of your day to fellowship with us and experience life together with us, those that are here. Okay, last week we talked about the different parts of experiencing life together. Last week it covered basically in fellowship what the first part of actual fellowship or getting together is. And it talked about how fellowship happens in small groups. It doesn't happen in large gatherings. Generally, if you go to super mega churches and stuff like that, those in general, you can see what's going on with those in the world right now. And I'm not putting any names out there, but you can, if you've seen the news, you read the news, you'll know there are a lot of pastors that are stepping down and over these super mega churches because they got into the ministry for the wrong reason. Now, can somebody experience spiritual growth in one? Yes, but generally it's going to happen because they met somebody and they got into it that really believed in the word, and they all got together in a smaller situation and they decided that they wanted to grow. So in other words, the scripture says that I will take the foolish preaching of man to save those that are lost. Okay. In other words, even if the pastor is up there robbing everybody blind because the only reason he has this building is to pay for his jet, right? The person that has God in their heart and really wants to grow in God's word never comes back void. So you are hearing the word, you are growing still in that situation. So that's just the way that God's word works. So we were talking about, again, small groups, and we were talking about family. That's why God gave us family. Your family is your first small group. Okay, and this is you're supposed to learn to grow together. This is how a young man learns how to treat a girl or his sister, or a young man learns how to treat his mom or anybody's mom, right? A young man knows how to treat his father, right? Or he knows how to treat his brother. He knows how to treat a grandmother. And then when you learn those things, it's kind of the school, because everything in our society is based off of small blocks called families. And when the family structure gets all out of whack, okay, then the society suffers. What's happening to us now these days in society with the way that the children are very, not all of them, but there's a lot of disrespectful and rude people now at a whole nother level. Disrespect I had never even encountered when I was a young man. And so it's happening now. And why is that happening? Well, it's because the small group, the family, has been destroyed. It's no longer cool to be a dad. It's no longer cool to just be a dad. You have to have a platform. You have to be, everybody's so self-absorbed with their platform. Like, put me on a pedestal. Everybody look at me. I want to do life by myself. I don't care about anybody else. I just want to step on whoever I got to step on to get where I got to get. And so these mentalities are being taken into our homes, and it's ruining our kids. You got parents out there trying to live their life through their kids, trying to be their friend, I want to be cool with my kid. I want to be a cool mom and cool dad. I want to buy them everything that they ever wanted because I didn't have it. And then you turn around and you setting them up for failure But it's all because at the end of the day, you're only thinking about you. So again, the first small group is the family. And so this is important, that this is what we talked about last week, that we keep an eye and understand that our growth as Christians, our growth as believers is going to happen through that small, intimate relationship. So yesterday or our last stream, it said in real relationship, people experience authenticity. Okay, so this is the first part of this particular lesson. What is it that happens when people are fellowshipping or experiencing life together? What's one of the things that happen? Well, one of the things is that you can't have real fellowship unless everybody is authentic. Okay, in other words, when we come into a room and we're talking about our problems and things that we go through in life, we don't need to be sitting up here lying to each other or lying to ourselves, but rather small groups will allow us to be transparent about what it is we're feeling. I use the example of the men at my church. We have some married men, right? We have our Dominion meeting the first Saturday every month. Okay. In that Dominion meeting, we'll talk about the Word of God, but we come in there and we share real stuff that's going on. What are the challenges of being married? What are the challenges of being a man in this society today? What things do we all face? And as we start talking about these things and really opening up to each other about what we're feeling and stuff, it's healthy for a man, because nowadays, a man don't have nowhere to he don't have nowhere to unpack his baggage at. We got to always walk around. I go to the gym sometime and I see men working out and stuff. And when I talk to them one-on-one, like, they'd be the coolest guys, right? But then, because they're out of their comfort zone, you know what I mean? But when they are out, like, when you're approaching them the wrong way, their defense goes up and they look like this mean dude. But at the end of the day, only thing I see, because is a guy, that's somebody's brother, right? When I see somebody with their son, right, it's nothing to me as a man, like, because I'm experiencing now, I see how much I love my kids, right? So I look at my son, especially my son's, the bond that I've gotten to have with these boys that God blessed me with at this time. And I'm like, man, I see somebody with their son and I say to myself, man, I know how that feels, man. And I really want to walk over and say, hey, man, congratulations, man. And that's awesome that you're with you know what I'm saying? But then sometimes people will think that's weird because you're talking to them. But I feel that in my heart for another person that has their children. In fact, when I'm going to tell you something, like, for instance, when I'm at work, okay, I might go into a place to draw caricatures, right? So let's say a couple is coming up behind me with their whole family. It's the mother, the father, they got the 3 kids, okay? If I'm coming from my car and they coming up, right, I'm going to give them so many feet between me and his family. No matter what, if I'm not going to try to get to the door at the same time, I'm also going to keep a distance with that man out of respect for that man, because in the end, because a man automatically that got a family, he automatically go on defense when somebody get too close to his family. So if I got to walk, you know what I'm saying, or if I get the door for a woman or something, I don't care what she got on or what she look like. If she with somebody or whatever, I might get the door, but I might look down, because I don't want to make eye contact with somebody's wife like that. You get what I'm saying? I don't want that. It's just certain things you can do. You got to be, to walk and to do things right by each other. But these are the things that we deal with as men. And so we talk about these things and we learn how to live through those small groups. So again, the first thing is that authenticity that happens in our groups that we have. Whoever you have your small group with, you want to make sure that you get somewhere where it's going to be real stuff that's being talked about, not no surface conversations. Hey, what did you do last week? Oh, I went bowling and all of that. No, really, man, what's bothering you? Is it something that you want to talk about? And you'll be surprised at somebody else in your group that's going through the same thing or has went through that. And then once you feel like it's not just happening to you, then you open up a little bit more, you talk about it a little bit more, and you come out of that place of darkness, that hiding that you've been doing all these years, that faking, that mad face that you wear all the time, really because You just feel like you can't trust nobody to talk to nobody. Everybody's all against you. You just feel like it's you against the world. And so you just unhappy inside, and you got to stay high or drunk or whatever to be the life of the party. You get what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. So the next part we're going to go into then is what else do you experience when you're in when we're doing life together, when we're experiencing life together, on top of having that authentic relationship. The next thing it says here is, in real fellowship, people experience what we call sympathy. Okay, so let me read this with you, and then we'll talk about it as we go through. It says sympathy is not giving advice or offering quick cosmetic help. Sympathy is entering in and sharing the pain of others. This is something that we don't know how to do anymore. You know what I mean? Sympathy is simply that. It's not, hey, let me tell you what you need to do. No, sympathy is literally sitting there and getting and feeling what this other person is feeling, to truly have sympathy for what they're going through. Sympathy says, I understand what you're going through. Sympathy says, I understand what you're going through. And what you feel is neither strange nor crazy. Okay? Nothing worse than you sitting there talking to somebody. They tell you something that they going through. They telling you somewhere they done been, and you know that you guilty of the same thing, but then you turn around and you judge them, and you know that you doing this. You telling them, oh man, you shouldn't watch pornography. You telling your friend that, but you know that that's all you watch all day long. You sitting here judging this other person, rather than saying, hey man, what you're going through is not weird. What you're going through is not crazy. That's the first thing. You know, I want to make people feel, when I talk to them, when I'm able to minister to them, I want them to understand that, first of all, let's come down to earth. Everybody, let's come down to earth, because we all fall short. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you from a real place. Okay? If I don't know anything about what you're talking about, hey man, look, I don't know what it is to be in that particular situation, but I have experienced something similar. You know what I mean? Or I might not say anything at all. Hey man, I don't know what it's like to be in this situation, but I'd like to pray with you and just be with you in this time, man. Just be in your presence, and let's go do something and get your mind off of that. Because sometimes that restores a person, just to have somebody there. You know what I mean? So sympathy says again, I understand what you're going through, and what you feel is neither strange nor crazy. Today, some call this empathy, but the biblical word is sympathy. The Bible says, a holy people be sympathetic, kind, humble, gentle, and patient. Sympathy meets two fundamental human needs: the need to be understood and the need to have your feelings validated. So it's saying here, we all want to feel like somebody understand what we're going through. And the other thing, again, what I'm feeling is not weird. Me and my brother the other day, we were talking about something. He asked me about something he had been through and experienced, and he asked me, had I been through this before? Yeah. And when we started sharing, we were like, oh, and it made him feel better that it wasn't only him, that he wasn't just this whack job because he thought this or did that. Okay? Every time you understand and affirm someone's feelings, you build fellowship. When somebody knows that you're not going to step on their feelings, and that you're going to come to them from a place of understanding, they're going to open up more to you. I don't care if you're married. Try it with your marriage. It'll work. Try it with your friend. It'll work. Try it with if you're dating. It'll work. Try it with any relationship, right, that you have. And this is absolutely a science to this. The problem is that we often We are often in so much of a hurry to fix things that we don't take or have time to sympathize with people. So we'll hear the situation and then we want to fix it because we're smart, right? One thing I learned about women, my wife told me this, and it was stuck with me. That sometimes they just want to vent. I don't need you to tell me what to do. I just need to tell you what happened. You get what I'm saying? I already know what I need to do, right? But sometimes just saying what you got on your chest to somebody is enough to put you in the right direction. Or we've been preoccupied with our own hurt. So the problem is we often are in so much of a hurry to fix things that we don't have time to sympathize with people. Or we're preoccupied with our own hurts. Self-pity dries up sympathy for others. So the other extreme is that we're so caught up in our own life and our own problems that who cares about everybody else? Nobody else is going through anything. I'm going through the worst stuff in the world, and nobody else is going. Everybody else has this great life except me type of situation. And then so we miss out on being able to effectively minister and build relationships and do life together with other people. There are different levels of fellowship, and each is appropriate at different times. The simplest levels of fellowship are the fellowship of sharing, the fellowship of studying God's word together, right? So that's another one, which is what we're doing. Then they have a deeper level is the fellowship of serving, as when we minister together on mission trips or on mercy projects. So we go out and we do something together to help a lot of other people. That's a way that we can develop and do life together and build bonds. So if you're having trouble making friends, and I know as a man sometimes it gets kind of lonely because I don't have that many friends at my age. You know what I mean? And just other than the guys I get to talk to at church and stuff. But it's kind of hard as you get older to make friends. And it's because we lose touch with these things and we don't do them anymore. We don't share with people. We don't study God's word with other people. We don't serve anywhere. We just think we just only do for ourselves. Want to be in our man cave, right? Or woman cave, whichever one. The deepest and most intense level, is the fellowship of suffering. Where we enter into each other's pain and grief and carry each other's burden. The Christians who understand this level best are those around the world who are being persecuted, despised, and often martyred for their faith. The Bible commands us to share each other's troubles and problems, and in this way obey the law of Christ. It is in the times of deep crisis, grief, and doubt that we need each other the most. When circumstances crush us to the point that our faith falters, that's when we need believing friends the most. Okay? So, and amen to that, because in short, the only time you will really listen, human people, and I'm saying everybody, I mean, let's just put it like that. I can't say everybody, but a large percentage of people will not listen until they are in deep water and they can't do anything about it. Now they grasping for help from anywhere they can get help from, right? You're going through a loss. You're going through the list is so long of things that we can go through. But when we're in that situation, it's so bad that we start questioning, does God exist? Why would God allow this to happen to me? All that kind of stuff. That's when we need the fellowship. So it's important, again, for us to get out of this stay at my house and stay in my shell and stay in my thing. And stop looking at social media and letting social media make you afraid of everybody. I can't because they lying most of the time on the channels. They be lying. People just lie just to put stuff on TikTok just to get views. They lying. You know what I mean? And so the word of God is the word of truth. And when it don't line up with the word of God, I don't listen to it. The Bible said, "Gave me a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind." Right? He did not give me a spirit of fear. That means I'm not supposed to look. If it's something making me fearful, that means I need to stop thinking. I need to stop looking at that. Right? Because at the end of the day, if you're scared of it, what can you do about it anyway if it does happen? What can you do about it? I always tell my daughter this. I say, I've always been in sales my whole life, and as far as, and so she was like, "Well, I'm scared to go up and talk to the person and ask them if they want to buy She makes little, she crochets, right? So she sells little dolls, and I told her, I says, "Well, you're already in the worst position. You don't have the business. So what's the worst thing they can do is tell you no? What's the worst thing they can do, right?" So let's finish up here. It says, we need a small group of friends to have faith in God for us and to pull us through. In a small group, the body of Christ is real and tangible, even when God seems distant. Okay? That's why we need to do life with other people. This is what Job desperately needed during his suffering. He cried out. A despairing man should have the devotion of his friends, even though he forsakes the fear of the Almighty. And finally, in fear or in small groups, people experience mercy. And I'm going to read this through really quick. Fellowship is a place of grace where mistakes aren't rubbed in but rubbed out. Fellowship happens when mercy wins over justice. Okay? That means I know you're right, but don't say it. I know this person is wrong. Don't rub it in their face. You'll be surprised how many people you can change when they see that who you really are and you come at them like on a real level. That's how you get people to open up to you and to help them to get to the change. But you walking up to them telling you, you're this and you're doing this, and according to this scripture, you are going straight to hell. Right? Anybody that you hear preach like that, you need to leave that church. You need to leave that church. Because that's not the way you talk to people, because nobody's going to listen to you. I don't care how much you pray. And then the people will say, well, I don't care whether they listen. God, they heard it, and God's heard me said it. And as long as I'm good with God, then that's the answer that they'll give you. But if you really, really want to influence and truly transform the souls, and you really you want to get souls with bait. You get what I'm saying? How you get bait? You learn how to behave yourself. When somebody see your behaviors a certain way, how you roll, then they let their guard down. I have my best friend Tim. I'm always talking about him, but he was a guy that didn't trust a lot of people. We met when we were incarcerated. Everything in there was about game, right? Everybody was trying to get over on each other. To be honest with you, I never had that in my spirit. I just wasn't one of those type of people. Most of the time when I hurt somebody, it was because I was just being selfish. I didn't set out to hurt that person. They just happened to be collateral damage almost, if you could understand that. They just got hurt because they were in the way of what I wanted to get. You know what I mean? So I didn't look both ways before crossing the street, kind of like. But I didn't have malice intent in my heart. I want to hurt this person today. So anyway, as when we met, one of the things that glued our relationship together, and we still talk about to this day, is the fact that I didn't want anything from him. Straight up. I didn't come with any preconceived notions about his life, what he'd been through. I didn't judge him about nothing he'd done. He done some bad stuff. I mean, he's told me some stories. I was like, oh, I can't believe you did that, right? Yep, he did it, right? And he admitted that he did it. But I wasn't there. And he kept, and then next thing you know, I shared, and then he shared, and I shared, and he shared. Now we're 25 years later, and and two people that were like the most unlikely, I would think, to even have a friendship together, have a friendship. It's kind of weird, but it just worked because everything that this is talking about, you know. So let's finish up here. We all need mercy because we all stumble and fall and require help getting back on track. We need to offer mercy to each other and be willing to receive it from each other. God says when people sin, you should forgive and comfort them so that they won't give up in despair. You can't have fellowship without forgiveness. God warns, never hold grudges because bitterness and resentment always destroy fellowship. Because we're imperfect, sinful people, we will inevitably hurt each other when we're together for a long enough time. That's why your family pisses you off, right? Sometimes we hurt each other intentionally and sometimes it's unintentionally. But either way, it takes massive amounts of energy and grace to create and maintain fellowship. The Bible says you must make allowance for each other's faults and give the person who offends you and forgive the person who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. God's mercy to us is the motivation for showing most mercy to others. Remember, you will never be asked to forgive someone else more than God has already forgiven you. Whenever you are hurt by someone, you have a choice to make. Will I use my energy and emotions for retaliation or resolution? You can't do both, though. Many people are reluctant to show mercy because they don't understand the difference between trust and forgiveness. Forgiveness is letting go of the past. Trust has to do with future behavior. So forgiveness must be immediate, whether or not a person asks for it. Trust must be built over time. Trust requires a track record. If someone hurts you repeatedly, you are commanded by God to forgive them instantly, but you are not expected to trust them immediately. And you are not expected to continue allowing them to hurt you. They must prove that they have changed over time. The best place to restore trust is within the supportive context of a small group that offers both encouragement and accountability. There are many other benefits you will experience in being part of a small group committed to real fellowship. It is an essential part of Christian life that you cannot overlook. For over 2,000 years, Christians have regularly gathered in small groups for fellowship. If you've never been part of a group or a class like this, you really don't know what you are missing. In the next chapter, we will look at what it takes to create this type of community with other believers. But I hope this chapter has made you hungry to experience authenticity, mutuality, sympathy, and mercy of real fellowship. We were created for a community. Okay, so that's our word of the day today. That's our little Bible study, experiencing life together. I did get a lot from that. I hope that you guys did as well. So, if you're going already to a church or whatever, you might want to check into the small groups. If you feel like you're stagnant in your growth or whatever, maybe it's because you keep just going on Sunday to the corporate situation. And corporately, you're not going to experience that kind of a growth. You're just sitting there listening to a guy preach at you. But when the real growth happens when you develop the relationships with people in the small groups and you start really communicating one-on-one and talking to each other, having lunch with somebody, that kind of stuff. That's when those real relationships start to build. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming out. If you did tip, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. We kind of need it at this time. And so thank you. Cherish, awesome job moderating today. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. And other than that, guys, I think that's all we got for you for today. So you guys be blessed. Have an awesome Saturday. And I will be seeing you guys on Tuesday. That will be the next live stream. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you next time.